Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little different again, and also you're apparently supposed to do the tags on Tuesday, so here we are. We're stepping out of the standard video format and onto the cricket field because I'm doing the Howzat tag. Original book tag created by Gavin from Genre Books, a fantastic channel who focuses a lot on older sci-fi and also some pulp sci-fi. Big thanks to Brian and Casper from Casper's Mystery Corner for tagging me. He is my go-to for mystery recommendations, and he's also a great guy. This tag ties books and authors to cricket rules, which means we get to have some fun while talking about reading. So the first question is, opening Batsman, a writer who built a solid opening of a book or just a great first line. If we're judging first lines, it's hard to avoid William Gibson's Neuromancer, a novel that defined the cyberpunk genre from the moment it opened. The opening line is punchy, technological, moody, iconic, and yet I didn't enjoy the book very much overall. For me, Neuromancer had a brilliant opening and fascinating ideas, but I found the book overly fake and a bit emotional cold, and more interested in being cyberpunk than making me care about the characters in it. What I did admire was how instantly the book drops you into its world without hesitation or hand-holding. There is no slow build, no warm-up, no gentle entry. It says, this is the future, keep up, and swings the bat. Opening Batsman energy, absolutely. And the second prompt is opening partner, a writer who you've built a relationship with over time. Now this is also an easy pick. It's Tolkien. I first read the Lord of the Rings trilogy as a teenager, and I'll be honest, I struggled a lot. I thought the pacing was slow, the prose dense, and the songs, at the time I thought the songs were a waste of time. But now I'm currently rereading the trilogy again, and what a difference age makes. Because now, instead of fighting the writing, I'm hearing it. I'm appreciating the rhythm of it. There's a maturity in Tolkien's storytelling that only fully reveals itself when you slow down and meet the book on its own terms. The layering, the meshing of cultures, the patience in the storytelling, it's not filler, it's architecture. Tolkien opened my teenage innings with difficulty, but as an adult he's become the partner who makes me better at reading. And that's the gift of long relationships with authors. They change with you, even though the story itself stays the same. And that is very much how an opening partnership should work. One sets the tone, the other stabilizes the innings, and somewhere in between you start to believe you can bat through it all. The third prompt is first change. Imagine you have finished a book you didn't enjoy or even DNF'd. Who's the dependable author you will turn to? Now this is a tougher one because of the way I read. I usually stick to my reading plans very closely, so if I don't like a book or even DNF it, I just move on to the next book on my list. But if I have to think of one, my first change could be Isaac Asimov. Every book I've read from him has been good. Not always breathtaking, not always a 5-star masterpiece, but always good. Which on my personal rating scale is actually a bigger compliment than it sounds. Asimov's writing is clear, confident, smart, controlled. He bowls ideas like deliveries. Consistent line, consistent length, and thematic precision. If I put down a book frustrated or worse bored, Asimov is the one I could always turn to. The fourth one is Middle Order. What are the last 3 books you've read that were 3 stars out of 5? The middle of the pitch is home to my most recent 3-star team. First is The Eyes of the Dragon. It's interesting Stephen King experimenting with fantasy, but I found it a bit too simplistic at points, which may have been intentional, but didn't always land for me. Some sections felt more like narration than story. And then there's Endurance by Yoshiki Tanaka, the 3rd book in the Japanese military space opera Legend of the Galactic Heroes. It was a bit more slower part within the series so far. It was also intentional, so it was something the series needed, but it lacked the amount of impact the first 2 novels had for me. And then there's Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. I admired the concept, but for me it felt too straightforward, too lean, and a bit emotional stiff in places. It didn't hit quite as hard this time around as it does for most people. That said, there's a reason it's a sci-fi staple. And if you notice a pattern here, it's this. 3-star books for me are not bad books. They're books with friction for me. Books that make me think, but don't entirely absorb you. Or books that matter historically or conceptually, but that just didn't work for me personally. The 5th prompt, the Wicket Keeper. Tell us about a strong or eccentric character. I immediately think of Yang Wen Lee from the Legend of the Galactic Heroes series. He's a strategic genius, he's lethally calm, politically skeptical, and he's a pacifist. Yet he's the greatest military mind in the series. He doesn't want the wins, but he gets them anyway. He's tired, sarcastic brilliance in human form. Yang stands out because he isn't the loudest character in the room. He's the one sighing in the corner while dismantling empires with mauve and tea. Eccentric in demeanor, terrifying incompetence. The man could wicket keep a galactic war and complain about the workload. And that's exactly why I love him. The 6th question is the all-rounder. A writer who is excellent in multiple genres. And for me it's the obvious answer, Stephen King. Yes, horror is his headline category, but the man has comfortably played in fantasy, crime, memoir, essays, literary drama, and much more. He doesn't just hop genres, he understands them, and that's not dabbling, that's versatility. It's horror like Salem's Lot, or straight up fantasy like The Eyes of the Dragon, or his genre-messing series The Dark Tower. King adapts remarkably fast. He's the literary equivalent of someone who is a full season player. Number 7, the spinner. A writer who completely bamboozled you and deceived you with a plot twist. For me, that's Hajime Isayama. Attack on Titan is one of my favorite stories, and one of the reasons being is its many plot twists. His plot twists don't just change the story, they rewrite the premise. They reframe characters and rewire your brain. And I'm always impressed when an author manages to surprise me with a twist I don't see coming. It's one of my favorite things in reading. And there are many times in this series when a plot twist enables you to reread again from the beginning and makes you appreciate different things. So this author bamboozled me many times. Absolute spinner chaos. Number 8, the fast bowler. Tell us about a writer where you rate their short stories above their novels. To be honest, I don't read many short stories. So I just want to point out my favorite short story writer, which is Ted Chiang. He doesn't bowl ideas, he torpedoes them. His short stories like The Story of Your Life, The Merchant and The Alchemist's Gate hit harder, sharper and cleaner than most novels ever could. His work is emotional intelligence and conceptual science fiction at its most polished. And there are novels who can take 400 pages to do what he does in 40. Number 9, Chin Music. A book with a brutal or visceral scene that left scars. The one I immediately think of is The Storm of Swords, the red wedding scene. That just came to my mind first. Even saying the name feels like PTSD. It's a very famous scene also in the TV show If You Know, You Know. Here's the thing, the brutality isn't just violence, it's emotional violence. It's betrayal delivered with plot precision. The scene worked because we trusted these characters, because we were emotional invested, and because the writer George R.R. Martin made us comfortable first. It's the ultimate example of why spoilers ruin emotional impact. You need to walk into that scene innocent. And boy did it punish innocence. Number 10, The 12th Man. Refreshments suggest a palate cleanser of a book. A lot of stand-alone sci-fi novels are great palate cleansers. But this time I wanted to point out a novel which I haven't talked about much on this channel. And that's because I recently learned this novel turned 75 years old this December. And it's I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. It's sharp, clean, modular sci-fi short stories with intelligence and elegance about robots. Asimov came up with the 3 laws of robotics, which changed the way we look at robots, not just in fiction, but also in real life. But they also masterfully wanted to challenge these laws within these short stories. It's a perfect sorbet between reading marathons. And number 11 is tag others, which is the most important thing to do, of course, with these tag videos. And something I actually forgot to do with the last few I've done. So I'm definitely going to tag some others below, and also everyone who is watching this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, Subscribe if you want, and absolutely let me know your own picks for any of these roles in the comments. Until next time, and keep reading and keep swinging. Bye.